Did you know I spent 45 years helping the poor, sick, orphans, and dying in Calcutta? I am Mother Teresa. I was recognized with the Nobel Peace Prize, but I faced criticisms and challenges in my mission. Learn more about my life, the joys, and the sorrows. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I was born in Skopje, Macedonia, in 1910, in an Albanian Catholic family. My original name was Agnes Goncha Bojaxia. From a very young age, I felt God's calling. At 18, I decided to follow that call and joined the Sisters of Loreto in Dublin, Ireland, where I adopted the name Teresa in honor of Saint Teresa of Lisieux. During my early years in the order, I was sent to India, where I began my work teaching at a school in Calcutta. It was on those streets where I witnessed the suffering and extreme poverty that would later inspire me to change the course of my life. Interestingly, I never had a romantic love life, as I gave my heart entirely to God and serving the less fortunate. However, I experienced a deep and lasting love, the love for humanity and those I served. Although I was a dedicated nun and teacher, it wasn't until I received a call within a call that I truly felt guided towards my mission to care for the most disadvantaged. One of my most distinctive achievements was the foundation of the Missionaries of Charity in 1950 in Calcutta. This congregation was dedicated to serving the poorest of the poor, and over time, our missions expanded not only in India, but all over the world. We cared for lepers, orphans, the sick, and those abandoned on the streets. Wherever I went, I sought to reflect Christ's love, convinced that in every person, especially the most vulnerable, God's face was present. A curious fact is that despite the massive expansion of our mission and the media attention we received, I always lived austerely, just like the sisters of my congregation. Our rule was to live simply, and despite the numerous donations we received, we always reused syringes and lived with the basics so that most resources could go to those who needed them most. In 1979, I was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Although it was a recognition of our work, I always felt I didn't deserve it and accepted it on behalf of the hungry, the naked, the homeless, the disabled, the blind, the lepers, and all those who feel unwanted, unloved. I used all the prize money to open a home in Calcutta for those affected by leprosy. My life wasn't just about successes. I faced criticisms and challenges, but what always kept me standing was my faith and the certainty that I was doing God's will. My main goal was never fame or recognition, but simply to love and serve others. In the later stages of my life, I faced a series of health issues that physically weakened me. For years, I had heart problems, and in 1989, I had a significant heart attack. Despite the complications, I continued serving and did everything possible to help the less fortunate. However, the tragedy wasn't just in my frail health. Throughout my life, I faced an inner darkness, a feeling of separation from God. Even though outwardly I appeared strong and full of faith, in my letters and diaries, I often expressed feeling abandoned by God. These feelings began shortly after I started my work in Calcutta and lasted almost 50 years. Interestingly, despite my profound relationship with God, I never had a romantic love life. My only true love was serving God and others, and that love sustained me during the darkest moments. I passed away on the 5th of September, 1997, surrounded by the sisters of my congregation. My death marked the end of an era, but the legacy of love and service I left behind continues to live in the Missionaries of Charity and in all those inspired by my mission. My life was a testament that through love and dedication, one can overcome adversities and make a difference in the world. The real tragedy is not in death, but in not having lived with purpose. Through my sacrifices, I hope I've shown that every life has meaning and that every act of love counts. Thank you for joining me on this journey through my life. If my story has inspired you, Don't forget to subscribe, and keep watching more videos of other significant figures in history. And tell me, which other important people would you like to learn about in their life?